Guys, Craig your boy 2016 off Instagram. Just coming to you with a quick tutorial on the fuse Clapton. It's came to my attention because I've been watching a few YouTube videos and I was looking for the comments, and a good few people still to this day do not know how to make a fuse Clapton. So we'll dive down. I'll show you my technique, what I use. It's really easy. If you've never made a Clapton before, a fuse Clapton is just the same skill level as making a Clapton, in my opinion. This technique works for both the Clapton or the fuse Clapton. Yeah, so we'll dive down and I'll show you how to build it. So strap into your seats and let's get going. Guys, a few things that you're going to need for this build are your 2 rolls of wire. Right here I've got some 36 gauge, and right here I've got some 26 gauge. So we're going to use 2 cores of this wrapped with 1 of this. You're going to need some wire cutters, some needle nose pliers. You're going to need your nylon pliers. That's good to get the twist out the coil afterwards. To wrap the coil, we're going to need a coil jig. This one's good because it's got all the little slugs inside, going from 1.5 all the way up to 4mm. We're going to use the 2.5mm today. This is the UD version 1 coil jig. It's a really good coil jig. Not necessary, but I like using a ruler sometimes. We'll need some scissors, an RDA of our choice. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this one. I might use a different one, but that's the one I'm vaping on right now. And we might need some ceramic tweezers, just to bed the coils in and to fire them. You can pinch your coils while firing them with these. They're a really good tool to have. So, and also, yeah, we're going to need a drill and some swivels. My swivels right now are connected to a piece of wood on my glass table. Just 3 swivels in succession. That means that they don't bind up or twist up, or if the first one binds up, it's got a fallback. If that binds up, it's got another fallback. And we also have our drill. This is a 3000 RPM corded drill, which I plug into just down there. And yeah, sit tight and we'll be right back with how to build the fuse Clapton. So what we are going to want to do is take our 26 gauge, and you see how I've got the ruler set up on the table like this. So this is a total of 24 inches. This ruler is a 12-inch long ruler. So what we want to do is measure out about 24 inches of 26 gauge wire. So you see where these scissors are lined up at the 12-inch line. So what I want to do is, that's 12 inches, and then put it there. That's another 12 inches. So I want to stretch my wire out up until the start of the drill. So what I'm going to do is take my toothless pliers, bend it like this, put a little bend in the wire, and then just grab it like that and hold it onto your 26 gauge spool really tight, and this side just give it a pull till you feel a stretch. It's a little bit harder with 26 gauge wire than it is with like something like 27 or 28 gauge, but you want to give it a good pull. Use your knees if you have to until you feel the stretch. So that wire is straight now. So what you want to do is cut the wire off. What I like to do is use these sharp scissors, so it doesn't leave no burrs in the wire, stuff like that, like the cutters do, the flush cutters, and then cut it off. So we've got our 24-inch piece of 26 gauge wire. So now what you want to do is take the wire what you've just cut, fold it in half, grab both ends like this, so there's a loop in that end, and then just run your fingers down the wire until it comes to a loop. Press the loop firmly in like this. Sorry about the focus. press the loop firmly in like this, and it creates a loop what you're going to put into your swivel end. So on the drill side, let's pull the drill into shot. What you're going to want to do is, where we had that bend earlier, that comes in real handy for our drill. It's going to help so we can tie the 36 gauge onto it. If you don't have a loop, just bend a little loop, bend a little L shape like that into it and stick it in your drill so that it goes through one of the teeth, and as centered as you can get this. This is the key to an easier fuse Clapton. If you can center it as much as you can, it'll be a big help while you're trying to fuse. So what I've got now is my loop. It's in the drill. It's all nice and straight. So what you want to do now is just attach it to your swivel, just like that. Now it does have a little bit of a bend in the end, but that does not make a big difference as long as the bend is not major. So we've got that all attached to the swivel and the drill. So put that out the way. Put anything you don't need out the way for now. And then what you're going to want to do is, if you take your little ceramic tweezers or a pair of tweezers or something, take your 36 gauge wire and grab the end of the wire just like this. Oh, sorry about that. Just like this. You grab the end of the wire and feed it on top, over the top, not underneath. Sorry about this. My ceramic tweezers do not want to grab the thin 36 gauge. So if you wrap it around this L-shaped leg, I don't know, 10 times maybe, as long as it's secure. And then what you're going to want to do is set your drill the right way. So mine goes right, which is clockwise over the top. So if your wire's over the top, you go clockwise. If your wire's going underneath the core and attached, you go anti-clockwise. So what you want to do is give it a couple of turns just to get it situated. Always hold your wire at a straight angle or slightly back, slightly, not like this, not like that, a 90-degree angle to your two core wires, and you should not have an issue with it fusing. So what you're going to do is get this started. Hold your hand about, let's measure this actually, it's probably about 6 inches away from the drill. Sorry, I've got my hand 8 inches away from the drill, 8 inches away from the core. So what you want to do is slowly, gradually, just pick up speed, keeping your hand at a 90-degree angle all the way down. And another thing reviewers or some coil makers don't tell you is to keep pressure on the drill backwards. Don't let your drill go forwards and the swivels flop like that. Always keep a bit of pressure on your drill backwards. Don't let your drill go like this, like that. Always keep it upwards and straight, so your core wire is straight and this wire is straight, if not slightly back, slightly, not too far back because it will overlap. And then just fuse away. You can go as fast as you like on this, as long as you've got the confidence to do it. I know you're not really getting a good picture of what I'm doing, but I will try. Oh, come on, focus. Yeah, it's a little bit more focus. And then just rip your drill. me just stop to readjust the camera. Yeah, it's not difficult. It's not a difficult build. Exactly the same goes for the Clapton build as well. Right, so we're getting to the end of the core wire, next to the swivel. What you want to do is go maybe 2 finger spaces away. You can go right to the end, it's up to you, but when you do, just let the Clapton back on itself, go this way with the spool, and let the Clapton back on itself a couple of times, and that'll secure the wrap wire in place so that it's not jumping off the cores. And then what you want to do is clip your fuse wire off and then just put it back on the spool so it doesn't jump off. Right, so now what you can do is take this bit off the swivel, and as you might be able to see, well, you might not be able to see, what you might be able to see is how this core wire has got twists in it. Don't worry about that at all. There's no problem at all. So what you want to do is stick your drill into reverse and just reverse a couple of times. You see how this bit now is twisted? Don't worry. Twist back. And the nylon pliers come in handy right about now to grip the core so you don't damage it. Reverse a couple of times, let go, and then if you really want to, you can come back down this way, wrong way, reverse, and most of the twists are out. Don't worry about the 1 or 2 little twists, that does not make a big difference to the build. You'll get them out while wrapping up the coil. So what I've just done is clip the end off the wire. So now what we have is a nice strand of fused Clapton. Let me just get you a macro shot. Get you a quick macro shot. See that? Sorry about the focus. It's a beautiful piece of Clapton wire. Sorry about the focus, guys. It's hard using the phone. Samsung Galaxy S4. LOL. So yeah. So the 2 cores on this wire heat up. That's what the wire is good for, basically. The outer wire on top of this, the fuse wire on top of the core wires, doesn't heat up. It acts as sort of like a heat sink. So your cotton is not touching hot wire, basically. So it acts as like a heat sink, so that you're not burning your cotton. So yeah, the core wires heat up first, and then the outer wire acts as a heat sink. So yeah, guys, I'll be right back and we'll install this build up. Come back. This is all the tools what you're going to need to install your build. You're going to need your flush cuts, your nylon pliers, RDA and mod of your choice. I'm using the Skill RDA. It's got them massive posts. It is the Skill by Twisted Messes Comp Life drip tip. Love this thing. It's a breeze to build on. Like I said, we've got our coil jig, we've got our finished wire, and we've got some cotton bacon. And you're also going to need a pair of scissors, which I don't have in shot. Some sharp scissors for your cotton. So what we're going to want to do is pick out our coil jig piece. I'll be using a 2.5mm, and I'm using this UD coil jig. So if you're using a coil jig like mine, what you'll want to do is hold the wire on the flat side like this, pinch it flat, put a little bend in the wire like that, and then what you can do is sit it in your coil jig like that. Wrap one, wrap. I'm only going to do like a 4 wrap today, I think, because I'm using a mechanical mod. There's 2 wraps. M-Turk, the master builder, makes this coil jig look so much easier than what it is. There's 4 wraps. I wouldn't advise that you do 4 wraps. I'd advise that you do at least 6 wraps. But with me, I'm using my mechanical mod and I like a low build. So now what you want to do is, once you've got your 4 wraps done, is keep your legs at an angle like that. And then what you want to do is get your nylons, put it in like that, and do a little bend this way. And then with the other lead, you want to bend it the opposite way, downwards, like that. And then what will happen is your legs will be coming off on that angle, so it's going to be flush and straight in your RDA. So now what you want to do is trim. So there's 1 coil done. Now in exactly the same with the second coil, flat, bend, stick it in your coil jig, and do a minimum of 4 wraps for me. I'd advise, if you're using a regulated mod, to do at least 6 wraps. There's no need to do anything less than 6 wraps for a regulated mod. The only reason why mechanical mods, you need less resistance so you can get more power, because the resistance of your build determines how much power you get into the build. And normally I like to run alien builds, which are 0.1, 0.11, 27 gauge aliens, and yeah, they're a great vape. So after all that, even if I'd have done 6 wraps, I'd have still had quite a bit left, maybe enough for another 2 more coils. But I've got my I've got my coils made. I could put the coil jig away, but I'm going to need the slug to install my build. Right, now getting on to the installation process. You want to take your mod of choice, RDA of choice. With me, it's the scale. It's so simple to build on. All you've got to do is push. Well, because these coils are quite thin, the legs are a bit need spacing apart because the posts are spaced apart, but that's fine. Now, sorry about that, I wasn't even in focus. So you see how I've got my build like that? There's a little bit of leg sticking out. All I want to do is chop that little bit of leg off. And if you've got a 2-post RDA, it's exactly the same. Chop that little bit of leg off and then take your coil out. And then what you want to do is take your slug, put the coil what you've just trimmed on the slug, put your other coil on the slug, and then just trim them to the same length. Trim your second coil to the same length, and then that's going to ensure that your coil legs are exactly the same. They're not going to heat up separately, they're both going to heat up at the same times, and you're going to have a great vape. So now I'm just going to pop them both in the RDA. There's one, and here's number 2. Seriously, this RDA is so easy to build on. If you've not heard of it, definitely recommend go and picking one up. Round builds, flat builds, alien builds, you can put any build you like in this RDA, and it's a breeze. What I've done is I went out and bought a screwdriver kit so I don't strip these hex screws, and it's a really good investment. I'm sick to death of stripping hex screws. So what you want to do is tighten them down. Now, they don't look the prettiest, they're a bit gapped, they're a bit all over the place because the post holes are miles apart. Tighten them down as much as you can. yeah. Oops. So they're nice and tight inside there. Now the resistance on this build should be somewhere above 0.1. Well, it will be somewhere above 0.1. So now what you want to do is just shape your coils up a little bit, press them with your tweezers. And you see how that one's on a bend? If you're pressing the legs with my tweezers and pull it out, press the other legs with my tweezers just to flatten the coil, and then take your little slug or whatever you wrapped your coils on and give it a pull and a pull up. And we see how that coil is above the deck there. That means the airflow is going to be able to get in. Sorry about the shocking camera work, guys. I'm doing this from my phone, but I really wanted to show people how to do this coil. It's not a hard coil at all, in the slightest. If you're having trouble with it, seriously, all you need is a bit of practice. That's all it takes, seriously. Just have some faith in yourself. You can do it. You can do it. Alien build, you can do it. Clapton builds, pardon me, Clapton builds, you can do it. A whole load of builds, you can do it. They're not that hard, seriously. Right, now I've got my coils situated in the deck. So what you really want to do is line them up with your airflow. So the bottom of the coil should be below your airflow. So see how the airflow it hits the bottom half of the coil, and under it, that is exactly what you want. So now let me just pop a quick battery in this mod. Right. So now what you want to do, if you've got a mechanical mod, don't use a freshly charged battery to heat them up, because you will burn your coils and you won't have a good day. You'll melt them, it won't be good. And another tip, what I'm going to say is, never ever touch your coils while firing the button with anything metal, because you will short out your coil. Sorry, not your coil, your battery, and you'll have a bad day, especially on a mechanical mod. If you can, pick up some ceramic tweezers, just like this pair from Geek Vape, which are really great, they're a good investment. So yeah, what we want to do now is just, if you're on a regulated mod, set your mod to about 30 watts, 40 watts, and just tap the button slowly. If you're on a mechanical mod, tap the button slowly and pinch. Tap, pinch, tap, pinch, tap, pinch. These coils are going to heat up much faster on a mechanical mod than a regulated mod, especially if you've got the regulated mod set to about 30-40 watts. Just get the hotspots out, see how fast these coils ramp up. Don't overlight them, don't make them glow seriously bright red for too long, because you will melt them. Now this is done. That's how simple it was to get them glowing evenly. The hot spotted, no hot spots, they're glowing evenly. It should be a perfect, amazing vape. So right, cool your coils down, because you don't want to be putting hot cotton you don't want to be putting cotton through a hot coil, because you will burn your cotton. Now get your cotton open if you can. There we go, cotton bacon, the hardest cotton to get into in the world. Take off one of these sheets. If you're running a 2.5mm coil like me, what you'll want to do is fluff your sheet out, not too much, don't rip it apart, don't go mad, but just fluff your sheet out so it's a bit flatter. See what I mean? A little bit flatter. Just work your wick, work it, work it, work it, and what you want to do is rip off about this much. Now it's not much, but it'll do for 2.5mm coils. Rip it in half like this, grab the one end, pinch with cotton bacon, it's one of the easiest cottons to use, and then fluff your cotton out, taking all the fuzzies off. And then what you're going to want to do is pinch the end and run it inside your coil like that. Grab the other end, and as you're running it inside your coil, just go like that, like rub it and then pull, rub it, pull, rub it, pull, and then pull back out the other way, pull this way, pull this way, pull this way. Like, you know when to stop when you're pulling, because it won't pull anymore. It's like nice and tight in there, can't pull it out, lovely inside. Then what you want to do is fluff your ends up like this. Grab each end and fluff like this. And there's one side done. So put that little bit in the bin, and then the same with the second piece. We don't need this bit no more. Grab it, feed it through the hole, which most of our lads are good at, feeding things through holes. Pardon the pun. I know, I'm shocking. Pardon me. It's not the easiest thing doing it on a mechanical mod. If you have got an ohm reader or something like that, I'd recommend using it. A box mod, a square mod, something like that. I normally do it on my square mod, one of my regulated mods. So you see how we've got it nice and even in there. So now what you want to do is take your scissors, and what I like to do with this, with most mods, is cut it just at the side of the RDA like this. So basically hit up against the side of your RDA and cut, hit up against the side of your RDA and cut. And for the most part that's a good fit with most decks. If it's not a good fit, what you'll need to do is take some tweezers, fluff the ends up by nipping while pulling like this. Really helps and works to fluff them ends up. This goes for RTAs, for everything like that. Nipping while pulling, and then just pull the fuzzies off. If you want to, you can cut them as well. So now what we are going to do is take something really small, thin screwdriver or anything, and just, what you want to do is, did you see how we've done that there? Is take your cotton at the top like this, go around and under and push, and then just gently push and push your cotton to the side like that, and make sure it's on one side of your coil. Make sure there's no cotton underneath your coil from that side, and then do exactly the same with the other side. Roll under and feed under like that. Make sure there's no cotton blocking the airflow, because in return you will get better flavour, better vapour production. It'll just feel a lot better. Yeah, the air will be able to circulate so much better. Right, there's one side done, and let's do the other side quickly, and then we'll run up and go back up to FaceTime once I've juiced these bad boys up. So you see that? How it's like that, two little bow ties, no cotton under the coil. You want clearance under the coil, you want all your cotton in the deck of your RDA like that. And yeah, that's the key to a good wicking technique. I never have dry hits, never have spit back, I never have anything if I do it like this, exactly the way I've just showed you. So juicing them up, let's get rid of all that nonsense what we don't need. So today I'm using some Zeppi blueberry Zeppoli, which is like a sugared donut with blueberry, 6mg. It's okay, not bad. Don't necessarily like it too much, but what you want to do is put a bit of liquid over the coil like this on each one, and then press your fire button quickly. Don't hold it in, because you will burn the inside of your cotton. Do it, press, drip, press, drip, drip, press, drip, drip, press, drip, drip, press. Now we're all juiced up, the deck's flooded. I think I put a little bit too much on, but when you're doing this you won't obviously put as much on as I just did. And then what you can do after that is just sort your cotton out, tuck in all the little stragglers from each side, make sure your cotton's completely saturated, and I like to give it a little test fire. And that is not even a freshly charged battery. Now it is a hot build on a mechanical mod, especially if you're doing 4 wraps. That's why I recommended at least 5-6 wraps if you're not really into hot builds, or if you're new to this and you're using a regulated mod, do at least 6 wraps on a like 2.5 or a 3mm. So yeah, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now what you want to do is get your airflow lined up, sit it on just like that, and we're ready to vape. So sit tight, guys. I'll throw the camera back up to FaceTime for a couple of minutes, and I will let you know what I think of this build. So sit tight. Guys, we're back, and that was the Fuse Clapton. My take on a Fuse Clapton. What can we say about it? It's a beast of a build. Now that is not even a freshly charged battery. I didn't even put a freshly charged battery in during that little cut back up. If you really want some pure flavour, some good vapour production, you're looking for a nice warm build for the tube mod, then seriously I recommend trying this one. I've just checked the resistance and it came out to a 0.13 dual coil 4 wrap 2.5mm 0.13. Now I do recommend battery safety as long as you're using the right batteries on a good tube mod. I'm using the broadside. It is a safe tube mod, a really safe tube mod. You should be fine. Samsung 25R, Sony VTC5A, Sony VTC4, Sony VTC5s. If you've got any questions about battery safety, if you search on Google battery mooch, all those amp ratings for each and every battery come up. I love my Samsung 25Rs. I've got loads of them. There's 2 there. I've got some more somewhere. Yeah, I just checked the resistance. This is what I used. My little Sigeli 75 watt. I just checked the resistance with it. Took the battery back out now, and it was a 0.13. So I feel safe. I don't feel like it's stressing my batteries too much, especially because I am on a mechanical mod. You do have to be safe, checking your battery wraps and the resistance of your builds and so on and so forth. But I do advise each and every one of you to be safe, because it's your life, it's your health, what you're looking out for. We're not going to do it for you. You do have to do it yourself. So yeah, the build. Let me just drip a little bit more. It's a beautiful build. Can't say enough good things about it. I haven't really tried these builds too much, Fuse Claptons, but they're really good. They're really, really good. One thing I did forget to say is this wire I used is from Crazy Wire Company, and it is all Nichrome 80. So if you use Canthal cores, Nichrome wrap, you will have a higher resistance. If you do more wraps around a bigger screwdriver, you will have a higher resistance build. Like, you probably get 6 wraps on a 3mm with Canthal cores, comes out to a 0.22, I believe. The flavour of this build is really good. The skill level is low. You do not need much skill for this build. For me, I like to run aliens, all things aliens, Mohawk aliens, frame staple aliens, stuff like that. The build I've got in my Timekeeper and my Cosmonaut is a Mohawk alien. I don't know if you can see that, you see the little spikes on it? That's a Mohawk alien. Not juiced up, so... And that comes out to about a 0.12, something like that. which is a really good build as well. I've got in my Apocalypse V2, I've got a quad core alien, if you can see that. I love my aliens. Simple to build once you get the hang of it as well. But the Fuse Clapton, it's a lovely vape. The things I like to build, which you're probably going to be seeing on this channel a lot more, things like this. I actually sell these coils as well, so if you hit me up on at Instagram at CraigYourBoy2016, so it's CraigYeahBoi, so boy is spelled B-O-I, CraigYeahBoy2016 on Instagram. Just inbox me if you're from the UK. If not, and you want to pay shipping, I can send you some. I charge £10 a pair, any pair you want, shipped. So all you need to pay is £10. I use PayPal. So yeah, it's all safe. PayPal. You get what you pay for. These are my Mohawk aliens, 6 wraps on a 3mm. These are going out today for a friend. You get them in this with a bit of cotton, and normally I put a little note in the back to say the specs and the resistance. Also, what I've got in here for a friend is 2 28 gauge aliens, which come out to a 0.14, 0.15 resistance, which are great for a tube mod, great for a regulated mod. And I've got some Mohawk aliens there, 2.5mm, 5 wraps, which will probably come out 27 gauge, which will probably come out to a 0.11, 0.12 resistance. And also what I've got in this one is just some 4 cores of 26 gauge. And if you've got a quad parallel box, I will sell you these. They come out to a 0.05. I know, unsafe for anybody. You need to prove to me that you've got a quad parallel box. Show me pictures and I will sell you them. 0.05, they are quad core 26 gauge and they come out to a 0.05. So if you've got like the Sith V2 or something like that, and you can prove that to me, I will sell you the quad core 26 gauge aliens. They're absolutely chuck. I've not used them yet, but they will absolutely chuck on a quad or a triple parallel box. They are at your own risk. Make sure you're using good batteries if you want to get some off me. And yeah, just rambled on about other things. But the build. Awesome build. Let me have another vape. Absolutely awesome build. Good for cloud comps. The clouds I'm getting off this build are really good. Look. Really good for cloud comps, everyday vaping, flavour. You can't go wrong with the Fuse Clapton. Ask anybody, they'll tell you. This is the perfect build for a beginner or a pro, an amateur or a pro alike. You don't need any special skills, all you need is the right tools and a pair of hands. And the passion and the focus and the determination to get one done. If it's your first time building, try it out. It's not that hard, I promise. Jump in, balls deep, head first, and you will succeed on at least your 4th or 5th try. I guarantee it. Maybe even your 2nd try. I started making aliens. As soon as I got my drill, it was like my 2nd coil I ever made. I jumped straight into a Fuse Clapton, built it, and then I jumped straight into aliens after that. If you go on my Instagram page, look, about a year ago, that was one of my first builds I ever made, was an alien coil. It can be done, all you need is a determination. And if you want to save money, you don't want to be buying pre-built coils anymore, £10 a pair, stuff like that. If you really haven't got the funds to be spending that much on coils, then it's perfect. Juice mixers mix their own juice, coil builders build their own coils, saves money, and it's fun. Really fun building. Tons of variations of coils you can make. My Instagram page, I have tons of variations of all types of coils on there. Coils with flat ribbon wire, round wire, different gauges, different sizes. So if you really want to check it out, you can go over there and hit me up. Like I said, my Instagram is at CraigYourBoy2016. And yeah, we'll have one final vape and we'll be out of here. If you can like, comment and subscribe on this video, on my channel, like and comment on this video, subscribe to my channel, that'd be amazing. I'm doing this video just to help some people out, so if you feel like you've been helped by this video, let me know, comment on the video. Some constructive criticism would be nice. Please be kind, because it is one of my first videos I've ever made. It is just off my phone as well, so I've done the best that I can. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Hit me up on Instagram, hit me up in the comments, subscribe, like, favourite, share, and definitely try this build out. You will not be disappointed. Anyway guys, this has been CraigieBoy2016 off Instagram. Peace out.